Well, I'm sure all of you are ready to start making a fixed and safe interest rate on your money right now. Well, that monthly interest doesn't do us any good if our principal is at risk of losing money. The thousands of private lenders that I know, they're all able to sleep easy at night because of their security blanket. That security blanket is that they know that their hard-earned money is protected by real and tangible assets that they can always sell to recover and get all their money back. I mean, who doesn't want that? Once you've had the security and consistent returns that private lending provides, it's very hard to go back to a stock market that gives you zero guarantees and that no one can tell you how much, if any, growth you're actually going to be able to expect to see. Let's explore how we're going to protect our money further in this section on the fundamentals of risk evaluation. Utilizing private lending as a potentially safe way to invest your money begins with being able to determine and minimize the risk involved in the lending opportunity. Gauging risk on a trusted deed starts with, of course, having a secure piece of collateral backing up your loan in case the original exit strategy does not go to plan. All loan opportunities should have a clear-cut exit strategy on how they plan on being able to repay your loan. The most common exit strategies are sale of the property, which means that the borrower sells the property to another party, which provides them the capital to repay your loan and make themselves the profit for which they undertook the loan in the first place. Selling the property as an exit strategy is very common with rehab or construction loans, where they were acquired for cheap, rehabbed, and then sold for its new increased value. The other common exit strategy is to pay off the loan by requiring new financing from another lender. This is common on bridge loans and construction loans. An example of this is when a person may borrow your money to build a home on a piece of land. Once the construction on that home is complete, they will then acquire a traditional 30-year loan from a typical bank at a much cheaper rate. The new loan would pay off your loan, which returns your capital so you can use it to then lend on another lending opportunity. If the exit strategy does not come to fruition and the borrower is unable to pay back your loan, then of course we will need to go after the collateral to eventually sell it to recoup our initial investment. What gives us the right to acquire the property that has been put up as collateral is a lien on the property. A lien is defined as the legal right of a creditor, or lender, to sell the collateral property of a debtor who fails to meet the obligations of a loan contract or trust deed mortgage. For example, when you got the mortgage on your house and you went down to the title company and signed your loan documents, the minute they gave you the keys to your house, they then recorded a lien against that house itself. The mortgage that you signed was the agreement that was going to pay back the money. And if you ever stop paying back that bank according to that agreement, the lien on your property is what allows the bank to go after your house, foreclose, and sell it to get their money back. A title company should be used to properly close and secure any loan that you participate in. A title company plays the role of the middleman to ensure that both parties come to the table with a properly structured and enforceable mortgage agreement. The title company does several things, but is not limited to holding your funds in escrow and not releasing them to the borrower until they have signed a mortgage agreement. They will provide a title search prior to closing that will ensure that no other liens on the property will prevent you from having the security that you're seeking. They also will provide title insurance that will protect you from any legal issues that may arise from a faulty title search. And they will work with the county to record your new lien on the collateral property, protecting your money. The best part about all of the services and protection that a title company provides is that it is common that the fees and expenses related to the title company are often paid for by the borrower of your funds. This keeps more money in your pocket and increases the commitment and skin in the game of your borrower. A title to a property can have more than one lien placed against it. So you can have a first lien, a second lien, and sometimes even a third lien position. As a private lender, the ideal lien position you want to reside in is in the first lien position. A first lien on a subject property means that there are no other loans that have a superior position in case of a default or foreclosure sale aside from a tax lien. In contrast, a second trust deed is a second in line in case of default. If the first trust deed holder forecloses on the property, the second trust deed holder's investment is wiped out. On the other hand, if a second trust deed holder forecloses on a property, the first trust deed is not wiped out. The second trust deed holder becomes the new owner of the property, subject to the existing first trust deed, which remains in place. Investors who are new to private lending are recommended to stick to first lien position lending opportunities. Increase your exposure to risk only when you are completely certain you understand the additional risk that a junior lien position lending entails. Now that you understand how to protect yourself with the lien, we need to make sure that the collateral that the lien is on provides a sufficient amount of security to match your comfort level. Almost all banks and lenders start their evaluation of risk by utilizing the loan-to-value ratio. The loan-to-value ratio, or LTV, gives you a percentage and can be determined by using the very simple formula of loan amount divided by the value of the collateral. Go back to the 4 parts of a mortgage. You have loan amount, interest rate, loan term, and collateral. So essentially take number 1 and divide it by number 4, and that gives you the loan-to-value ratio. For example, if you have a $100,000 loan being collateralized by a home that was recently appraised for $150,000, the loan-to-value on that proposed loan would be 66%, which can be found by dividing the loan amount of $100,000 by the value of the collateral, which is $150,000, giving you a loan-to-value of 66%. As a bank and as a lender, you're going to prefer to see the lowest loan-to-value possible on all of your loans. The lower the loan-to-value is, the safer the loan is considered to be. So most lenders will consider a loan relatively safe if they have a loan-to-value of 75% or less. For example, let's say that you participate on a loan of $75,000 that's collateralized by a home that was recently appraised for $100,000. Assume the borrower did not repay your loan and you were forced to foreclose and become owner of that $100,000 home. Thanks to the 75% loan value, you don't have to sell the home for its full price in order to recoup your investment. You're able to sell the property for as low as $75,000 or 75% of its value and still recover all of your principal that you lent out. You could, of course, sell it for any amount above the $75,000 and get to keep the difference as profit. As the real estate market continues to recover in many markets, the ability to sell the property at a discount of 20 to 25% off its value is absolutely critical to being able to sell the property quickly in a matter of weeks as opposed to a matter of years. When the loan is a construction loan, when there is no physical structure in place, the loan-to-cost ratio, or LTC, is often used. With LTV, you divide the loan amount by the value of the collateral, whereas with LTC, the loan amount is divided by the cost to build the project. If the project cost $1 million to complete and the borrower was asking for $800,000, the loan-to-cost ratio would be 80%. The cost to build would include land, construction materials, construction labor, professional fees, permits, and so on, all making up the $1 million cost to build estimate. So you now have the fundamental knowledge on how, as a private lender, you should begin to evaluate the risk in a lending opportunity. Other factors you want to consider when determining risk on a lending opportunity are, but not limited to, the borrower's experience, how much history do they have doing what they're trying to accomplish with this loan, the borrower's creditworthiness, do they often pay back similar loans like this, a property's cash flow, is the collateral bringing in a monthly cash flow that helps lower my risk, and last but not least, insurance risk. Is the proper insurance being maintained on the property to protect my collateral? In our next section, we're going to illustrate how the private lending market is much safer today than it was prior to the mortgage meltdown of 2007 and 2008.